We've just watched the Simpsons episode Like Father, Like Clown. A brilliant episode that's one of both of our favourites now.
Yep.
What we're saying. What it reminded me of, and what I thought would be a nice little thing to revisit, is the abysmal episode where they, spoiler alert, kill Krusty's dad.
Oh, yeah.
One of the few later ones that you and I have both seen.
Well, I'm sure we'll get to reviewing the whole thing in like 20 years' time.
20 years' time, yeah. There is a review of it on here.
Oh, there is.
I thought it would be nice to just look back on that and see why that is so terrible compared to that episode we've just seen, which is so absolutely amazing.
To be quite honest, I've actually blocked a lot of the episode out.
Yeah.
I don't remember pretty much anything about it. Like, how did he die?
How does he die? He has a heart attack, I think.
Well,
he doesn't die in any kind of mysterious, suspenseful way. He's just dead.
The fact of the matter is that it just goes back to how it's a new writing staff.
Yeah.
Which nothing wrong with new people.
Yeah.
New people can bring good stuff to the Simpsons. The showrunner changed from season 4 to 8.
Yeah.
There were new showrunners, controversial showrunners amongst old school fans, but for me it was the best decision because they're the golden years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so new writers can bring some new energy to the characters, but these new writers fundamentally don't get the characters.
Yeah.
And they don't get why the plots were so resonant. And what makes it worse is that I would say that they don't understand it, but I feel like they do. But because of how many times these stories have been told, they have to almost retcon things to make their plots work.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, to get this plot moving, we have to kill off Herschel. That's the only way it's going to work.
Well, I think, anyway, it was just a gimmick, really, wasn't it?
Well, because they were teasing it as like, it's going to be a character voiced by
such and such,
and no one would have guessed it would have been Krusty's dad.
Krusty's dad is played by Dan Castellaneta.
It must be,
Yeah. But they were saying we're going to kill off a character, making it sound big, and then, turned out to be no one anyone cared about anymore.
Nope.
Because this is the thing. The reason why, Father Like Clown's a great episode is because it's self-contained. You don't need...
Yeah.
Like, when I watched the end of it, I didn't think, ooh, I need to see what happens now.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? And it just becomes part of Krusty's character now.
Yeah.
It's like, Herschel, I think, reappears a few times throughout the series, but not, like, a lot. He's just part of Krusty's life.
Yep.
And, now we have the knowledge of who Krusty is and we understand a bit more as a character.
Yep.
And that's it, basically.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
That's all you need, yeah. It's not like there's a burning desire to see his dad die. And also, the thing is, the status quo with his dad dying is something that would change him, but it doesn't. With this, it's like, at the beginning he's miserable, and that fits in with what we've seen before. He always seems cranky when he's not playing Krusty. Why is that? This goes into that. And at the end, he's relatively back to status quo, he's happy again. And it makes sense then why later on in appearances he's more of a whimsical character than he is at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. His dad dying having no repercussions at all doesn't make sense in the way this does, because it's self-contained and returned into status quo in a natural way.
I think the worst one about it is when we shake up the status quo is it's an episode that I think is okay. It's from that run where The Simpsons wasn't awful, but it wasn't good. But kind of a concept that I like where Barney decides to give up drinking.
Oh yeah, that's Days of Wine and Summer. Yeah. I know which episode. Don't know. It's called Dose of Wine and Thunder, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's an okay episode. I like the idea.
Yeah.
And at the end of the episode, he is off alcohol.
Yeah.
But then if you look at new stuff, it's too hard to write a new version of Barney, so they just...
Well, the worst thing is they alternate it. Yeah. Sometimes he's sober, sometimes he's drunk, depending on how it fits the story.
Yeah.
If they want to do a cheap joke about him being an alcoholic, he is. If they want to do a joke about him not being, he isn't.
Yeah.
It's just silly.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. What I also wanted to talk about, the reason why I thought to bring this up again, is after the two announcements they made before the new series has come on, because that was the season before this one, about, have you heard of the two, they promised there'd be two big things to shake up The Simpsons. There was going to be Marge and Homer split up, which turned out to be a dream sequence. And then they said that Kudos and Kang were going to be canon. So canonical... God. Oh no, 3 even. So there's canonical Kang and Kudos.
Canonical.
Canonical. But there's also Smithers is going to come out to Mr. Burns.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
Because why?
Why? I don't know why.
The guy's already come out as gay anyway.
Yeah.
Like he went on a holiday,
Yeah.
which was quite clearly a gay
romance
holiday.
Yeah.
Like he was dancing with half-naked men. It's
yeah, but now
why make a whole episode?
The drama of him coming out to Mr. Burns.
No.
I mean, you can write that episode already. He comes out to Mr. Burns in the first 7 minutes. He gets fired for the next 10. Burns hires Homer to be a replacement, finds his useless, and hires Smithers back.
And accepts that that Mr. Burns is a homophobic arsehole.
And then it's never mentioned again.
But that's it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because the fact is that Smithers as a character is later on it is quite clear that he's gay.
Yeah.
And there's no two question about it.
Well, there's even one where it's not a very good episode, but Homer like moves in with a gay couple.
Oh yeah.
And then you see Smithers on the street, and that's like, oh look, it's because he's gay.
For a good episode, I was thinking it's implied that he had a relationship with John Waters' character.
Oh, that's great. That.
Yeah. Now here, Wayland.
Well, even there's the great Malibu Stacy one.
Oh yeah.
Which has some strong implications.
Well, he's got my screensaver, Mr. Burns, where he's like, "Hello, Smithers. You're quite good at turning me on." You should probably just ignore that.
But yeah, stuff like that. But why make him come out in any kind of like? Because the joke is that it's implied and that it's there, but it's not.
And why should it matter to Mr. Burns anyway?
I suppose they could do. He's a Republican old man.
Yeah.
So he might have a problem. But then because there's no way they can come back from the status quo from that.
No.
Like, is Mr. Burns going to learn a lesson and never be in? Because the jokes of Mr. Burns are that he's a Republican old man. If they go to this point of having him accept who Smithers is, it's going to ruin the character. And they can't go the other way of him just firing Smithers, because that means Smithers would have no place in the world they've created, and they'd have to get rid of him. And they're not going to do that because Smithers is, they can sell a Smithers
just,
toy.
Just the implications, just from like the real world point of view, it's like, so Mr. Burns fired Smithers because he's gay.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't work at all in today's society.
No. Yeah.
Nothing
about that works. I mean,
nothing would work.
What's worse, that or making Kang and Kudos canonical?
The Smithers thing.
The Smithers thing.
Because it's got potential to just be like offensive and pointless.
You don't think the new writers are going to handle it with sensitivity and craft?
That's the thing. In the golden era, I have no doubt that an episode where Smithers comes out as being gay to Mr. Burns could have been a great episode.
Yeah.
I have no doubt about that. I just don't think the new writing staff are. It's more of a showrunner.
Yeah.
Ian Maxtone
Smith,
or Graham or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's more to blame.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I have no doubt that an episode about Smithers coming out as being gay in an early episode of The Simpsons could have been great. Yeah. And it could have been handled with some real sensitivity. But I just don't trust them to do it now, because I just think it'd just be offensive to like everybody.
Yeah.
Smithers is a pretty well established member of Springfield's gay community already.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any point in, by the way, Mr. Burns, I'm gay.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll come out inadvertently.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't know. Because this is the thing, like, how's he going to... Because I haven't seen the episode yet. I'd be interested in seeing how they handle it, just to see how poor it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If they had some balls, it'd be like, Mr. Burns makes a homophobic remark, Smithers, like, loses his rag, and then, like, I'm actually a homosexual.
Yeah. And
then he walks off or something. But they won't do that. And like, how are they going to... I think I've actually seen a bit of the Kang and Kudos one. I'm not sure. It might have been a Treehouse of Horror. But what this episode I was watching was definitely a new one. Like, Homer and the family go to like a museum, and then they see an exhibit that they think it's an exhibit, and it turns out to be the spaceship that Kang and Kudos are on, and he abducted. And it's not a treat, and that's the thing, 'cause it's not a special. God. It's implied it's real.
The thing is, back in the day, the Treehouse of Horror episodes were like ones where they could do whatever they wanted to.
Yeah. Like,
they could do anything they wanted to. That was the point. It was like a bit of a little like melting pot of crazy ideas that they could get away with because it's not canonical.
Yeah.
And these days, they just do whatever the hell they want,
Yeah.
irregardless.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah. It's rubbish.
rubbish. I hate it.
Rubbish gimmicks. Too many gimmicks nowadays.
Yeah.
I think this is why these new seasons seem like the worst ones. At least, season 23, dire, but at least it's not like, this week, Homer becomes a rat. I don't know. Lisa gets abducted. I don't know. Gimmicks. They should do that like... the first gimmick, actually. Well, the very first gimmick was Who Shot Mr. Burns?
Oh, that's a great one, though, isn't it?
But that's a great one, yeah. Well, that, I suppose, is... Well, that's proof, I suppose, that the gimmick isn't inherently bad.
Yeah.
Is how it's implemented. But yeah, but then the first gimmick I became aware of, I was like, ooh, that's a bit dodgy, is when they did... Do you remember the voting? For whether Flanders would get with Edna?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've not seen the resulting episode, but yeah.
But yeah, they did like a phone-in, basically.
Remember, yeah.
Give us your money to ring this premium rate phone line to vote for whether two fictional characters should get...
Who gives a fuck?
Do our job for us.
Basically, yeah.
I hate that kind of stuff. You make the choice, because it's like, have some balls, make a decision yourself, don't...
It's like Batman and Jason told all over again.
But that's the thing, isn't it? It's like basically they want to make a controversial decision, but they don't want to say like, oh, it's our fault, it's your fault for choosing.
That's it. Yeah. Like if you don't like a result, well, it's not our fault. It's the public. Joe Public's fault.
Joe Public chose this course. It's not our fault. Yeah.
We didn't pick it.
But yeah, too many gimmick episodes are now just a bit... I reckon the next season will have 6 gimmick episodes.
Yeah.
Because this last one had 1, now it's 3.
But it's quite clear what they're doing. Simpsons ratings have plummeted.
Yeah.
And they're desperate to get more viewers.
Yeah.
So they'll just throw in gimmicks to try and woo people back, but...
Well, do you think it'll work? Do you think these gimmicks... Because the thing is that...
I don't think they will.
When a gimmick episode becomes the norm, which happens if you have 3 in a fucking season...
Yeah.
It's nothing anymore, is it?
No.
It's just crap, innit?
Shite.
And who cares about these gimmicks? Who's sat at home thinking, I know what I want to know. Is Kang and Kudos canon? I'm sat at home and he's... I imagine they might have gotten an angry letter or something. It's like someone wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, these gimmick episodes are just rubbish.